Habitat means a place to live. Affordable means having enough money to buy or pay for something. Perpetuate means continue to exist for a long time. Mission means an important assignment. Dwell upon means think or talk about something. Dispose to means want to do something, inclined. Nurture means help a plan or idea to develop. Review means make something strong again. Demonstrate means show. Remote means far away, not likely. Core means the most important. Multifaceted means having many parts or sides. This is the image of APJ Abdul Kalam. Now I read the autobiography of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. You come with listen carefully and complete this paragraph. Okay, children. I was born into a middle class Tamil family in the island town of Rameshwaram in the East Wild Madras state. My father Jainulubdina had neither much formal education nor much wealth despite these disadvantages. He possessed great innate wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. He had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashima. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day, but I am quite certain that far more outsiders were with us than all the members of our own family put together. Okay, children, with the help of this listening, you must complete this paragraph. Now I read the lesson. The following is an extract taken from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's book Ignited Minds. Let us read the extract and understand his message to the youth of India. All through this book, I have spoken about the power of imagination. It lies at the heart of the creative process and is the very substance of life, allied as it is to the power to extract to us what we must desire. This power makes all the difference between the winners and the losers. I would like to see in 20 years a literate and poverty free India. I dream of an India governed by noble leaders. I dream of a system where the work of scientists and technologists is focused on the specific missions driven by goals relevant to the common man. How is this dream to be made real? Dear learner, how can Dr. Abdul Kalam's dream? We need to realize that missions are always bigger than organizations, just as organizations are always bigger than the individuals who run them. Missions need effort and mind provides the purpose. Seen this way, consider which department of ministry will take man to Mars and build a habitat there. Can 2 lakh megawatts of electric power be generated by isolated efforts in thermal, hydroelectric, nuclear and non-conventional sectors without an integrated effort? Can the second green revolution happen without agriculture scientists, biotechnologists and irrigation experts working together, without proper diagnostics facilities in clinics and affordable drugs reaching our masses. Our biotechnology laboratories and medical councils will continue to perpetuate each other's survival without serving the purpose of their existence to set in place the most advanced medical facilities and make these available to the people at reasonable prices. I have dwelt upon my experience that made me aware of the energy flood which is created by a vision. It is a power that arises from deep within you. This power is the basis for the movement towards excellence we saw at the time of independence. I have been touched by this power on my associations while facing a challenge. Pre-independence India overbraided with it. It helped us humble a mighty empire. Jamshedji Nasirwanj Tata brought the steel industry to India, even though the British rulers were not favorable disposed to the idea. Acharya P.C. Roy nurtured the chemical and pharmaceutical industries. We saw the birth of many great institutions like the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, started by J. N. Tata, the Banaras Hindu University established by Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, and Aligarh Muslim University set up by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Some of the progressive Maharajas to set up universities, as in Baroda. There are many examples. In all these cases, the motivation was to see India come up in the world, to demonstrate that India can do it. Are we in position to continue that work, revive that spirit of enterprise? Shall we ever see cars designed and manufactured in India dotting the roads in Frankfurt or Seoul? Or Indian satellite launch vehicles place communication, weather and remote sensing satellites of other nations in orbit? Or see India build power stations for USA, Japan and China? The possibility will remain removed if we stay with the present trend of low aim. Today we are witnessing good progress in the software sector, but almost all of the hardware is imported. Can we rise higher on the value scale there? Can India design an operating system that will become a household name in the world of computers? Or our experts consist to a large extent of low value raw materials such as iron ore and aluminium? Can we not convert these into a wide range products that find an international market? We have hundreds of defense production industries, but why does India not manufacture and market the main battle tank, missiles, aircraft, guns and other defense equipment? We have the most important core competence in the form of our multifaceted manpower and basic infrastructure. What is it that we don't have? Learners, what are your response to Dr. Kalam's what is it that we don't have? Hello friends, Today we know more about our ex-president of our country, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Through their autobiography, with the help of his autobiography, we know more about him. Here is one of the paragraph this is a part which is selected from or taken from that the Ignited Minds, that is written by APJ Abdul Kalam's book. Ignited Minds. This book is written for youth of India. It is written for youths of India. Although this book I have spoken about the power of imagination. In this book, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam explained about that the power of imagination, how the power of imagination works, and how the power of imagination brings up in the high order and motivate to do something or achieve something. It lies at the heart of the creative process and is the very substance of life. Yes, it lies at the heart of the creative process. Yes, the imagination lies or put in the heart of the creative. Yes, it is the heart. It is more important. The imagination is more important to creativity. Yes, like art is how art is important to our life. Like that, this is the imagination is art of creative process and is a very substance of life. Yes, it is very important thing for our life. The imagination is very important to our life, allied as it is to the power to attract to us what we must desire. Yes, the imagination, the power of imagination is allied with it, mingled with the power to attract that what we must do, what we must desire, which is must be our desire. What are the desires we become, that is with the help of imaginations. This power makes all the difference between the winners and the losers. Yes, the power of imagination difference makes that the winner and loser. Okay, the power of imagination is more important thing to win something. I would like to see in 20 years a literate and poverty free India. Yes, our APJ Abdul Kalam ji had the desire that you want to see the India literate country. You want to see our country must be literate and poverty free India. Yes, there is no poverty in our country. You want to see that type of country. All are rich, all are have the basic needs in their life. So that is the dream of or desire of our APJ Abdul Kalam. He dreamed of a system where the work. He also dreamed that APJ Abdul Kalam the dream that the system where the work of scientists and technologists is focused on specific missions. Yes, Abdul Kalam has dream. He had the dream on the system of the scientist and technologist. His dream is depend on scientist and technologist. He is focused on specific missions. Yes, how the scientist and technologist focus a specific mission driven by goals relevant to the common man. Yes, they are specific mission. These scientists and technologists are doing the work on the specific mission, specific project that is driven by goals. They want to reach the goals that are relevant to the common man, that are relevant to the common people. But how is this dream to be made real? Yes, how this dream become real? How can Dr. Abdul Kalam's dream be realized? Okay, now we go through this lesson and continue. We need to realize that missions are always bigger than organizations. Yes, always our mission, our goal is bigger than our organizations. Our organization means institute. One of the institute. ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್. ದ ಮಿಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಗ್ಗರ್ ದೆನ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್. ದ ಏಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಗ್ಗರ್ ದೆನ್ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್. Just as organizations are always bigger than the individuals who run them. Yes, the organization is more important than the person who run that institution, who run that organization. The person, the organization is more bigger than the person who run that organization. So that's why mission need effort. Yes, mission need effort. Project must be need the effort to get the success, and mind provides the purpose. Yes, mission needs effort. Mission provides effort, but and mind provides the purpose. Yes, our mind provides the purpose. Okay, seen this way, if we seen in this way, consider which department or ministry will take man to Mars and build a habitat there. Then, if we see in this way, consider which department, which organization will take man to Mars and build a habitat there. Yes, our scientists done a very great work that our satellites are launching to the Mars. Yes, human being is reached the Mars, and he is planning to that habitat there, live there. Habitat means build a home, live there on the Mars. So human being is now, a man is planning to live on the Mars. So like that, which department is done this work? Because there is a number of organization worked on this. Can 2 lakh megawatt of electric power be generated by isolated efforts in thermal, hydroelectric, nuclear and non-conventional sectors without an integrated effort? Here, 2 lakhs megawatt electric power is generated not only one organization by isolated effort in the thermal. It is produced in the thermal, hydroelectric way and nuclear and non-conventional sectors. Many more sectors we are producing or getting the 2 lakh megawatts of electricity from different sectors, from the different organizations. Sectors without an integrated effort. Can the second green revolution happen without agriculture scientists, biotechnologists and irrigation expert working together? Yes, here in this paragraph, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam giving importance to coordination and unity. Coordination and unity. Here, the green revolution is took place with the help of there is coordination between agricultural scientists, biotechnologists and irrigation experts. These all department scientists work together. That's why we reach that green revolution. So without proper diagnostic specialties in clinics and affordable drugs reaching our masses, our biotechnology laboratories and medical councils will continue to perpetuate each other's survival without serving the purpose of their existence. Here, Abdul Kalam has given many more examples to that how we are working together. Here, the diagnostic of specialties in clinics. It will helpful to that the doctors to what the problems in the patient. And affordable drugs. Yes, the affordable means that spending the money. The planning for spending means getting or producing that drugs. Invention or such many more drugs with the help of those wealth. He is also helpful to that reach the masses. The drugs reach the mass. So our biotechnologists, laboratories and medical councils will continue to perpetuate each other. Yes, like that here Biotechnology laboratories are manufacture medicines, and then medical councils are containing that medicines and prescribing to the patient. Like that, perpetuate each other's survival without serving the purpose of their existence. Yes, without survival, without serving the purpose of their existence. To set in place the most advanced medical facilities and make these available to the people at reasonable price. Yes, these all organizations working together made that the advanced medical facilities are make now reach the are available to the ordinary people also. So in the reasonable price, working together is getting more efficiency in the work. So that's why here APJ Abdul Kalam is giving more importance to that coordination and unity in this paragraph. I have dwelt upon my own experience that made me aware of the energy flood which is created by a vision. Yes, he is sharing his own experience that he made his experience made him aware about that energy flood which is created by a vision. Yes, the energy which is created by a vision. Yes, vision is that is the imagination. That flood in imagination that created is a vision. It is a power that rises from deep within you. Yes, this power, the vision of the power arises from the deep within us. So this power is the basis for the movement towards excellence. Yes, this power is the basis. It is the foundation for the movement towards excellence. Creating the excellent creativity, it's become the foundation for our creativity. And we saw at the time of independence, I have been touched by this power on many occasions while facing a challenge. Now, Abdul Kalam is saying that what happens in the independence, time of independence, I have been touched that this power, the power of that imagination on many occasions while facing a challenge. Yes, whenever we facing a challenge, that in that time we getting the energy and getting the knowledge in that moment of by our imagination power, through our imagination power. Pre-independence India reverberated with it. Yes, the examples, the pre-independence, before independence, India reverberated with it. Yes, it reveals that the imagination, how the imagination motivates us to do something. It helped us humble a mighty empire. Yes, this imagination power is provoke us to humble that this type of mighty empire, build a mighty empire. Jamshedji Nasarwanji Tata brought the steel industry to India, even though the British rulers were not favorable disposed to idea. Yes, even in the free independence India means our country is ruled by British. In that time, the British government or British ruler opposition for that idea of J.N. Tata. Jamshedji Nasirwanji Tata brought the steel industry. Yes, he brought the steel industry to our country. That is the opposition, even though that the opposition of British government. Because of his imagination, but because of his vision towards India. So that's why he faced all the problems and established his industry in India. Acharya P.C. Roy nurtured the chemical and pharmaceutical industry. Yes, Acharya P.C. Roy, he was a pioneer in the pharmaceutical industry. He established that, nurture means he developed, he started that chemical and pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry is very helpful to us to produce or manufacture medicines for us. So we saw the birth of many great institutions like the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, started by J.N. Tata. Yes, J.N. Tata also started that Indian Institute of Science at Bangalore. That is also one of the institution which was the dream or imagination of one of the scientists, great scientist. Banaras, the Banaras Hindu University established by Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya. Yes, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya established that Hindu University at Banaras. Even though that also in the time of British ruling, they get many more opposition. In that time also he established that university to provide or give the education to our country children. So that's why Aligarh Muslim University set up by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan set up the Aligarh Muslim University. So some of progressive Maharajas to set up universities like as in Baroda. Yes, many more Maharajas also established the universities to provide the good education for our country people. There are many examples in all these cases. Yes, there are many examples in our history. In all cases, the motivation was to see India come up in the world. Yes, these are activities are showing us that the motivation. Yes, the motivation which was in these people was that they want to see India come up. They want to see India come up in the world to demonstrate that India can do it. Yes, they want to show the example. They want to show that demonstrate that the India can do it. The India can do anything. They want to show through these works. Are we in a position to continue that work? Yes, shall we continue that work? Are we in the position that to do that or continue that work? Revive that spirit of enterprise. Yes, we must revive that spirit, must regain that spirit of that enterprise. Shall we ever see cars designed and manufactured in India, dotting the roads in Frankfurt or Seoul? Yes, we are seeing the cars designed and manufactured. That names are the foreign names that Frankfurt or Seoul. Or India satellites launch vehicles place communication. Yes, India is launched vehicles place communication, weather and remote sensing satellites for other nations in orbit. Yes, India is also established or launches many satellites to improve that or getting information about weather telecast and remoting sensing satellites. Yes, the India is also developed that knowledge, that technology to control or remote that satellites which are on the other nations in the orbit. Or see India build power station for the US, Japan and China. The possibility will remain remote if we stay with the present turn of low aim. If we have the low aim, then we can't reach the competency in the world. We must have the high aim. We must do something. Why not we can't do all these works which are the USA and China and Japan achieved? Why not we achieve those desires, those goals? Why not we do that type of works? Here Abdul Kalam are awakening our youths. Today we are witnessing good progress in the software sector. Yes, we are developing many software technology. Our country is going progress in software technology. It also become one of the best country in software technology. But In the hardware is we imported. We have the software knowledge, but in the hardware we are depending on the other country. For the hardware purpose, we are depending on the other country. Why cannot we? Can we rise higher on the value scale there? Why we not manufacture the hardware of the computer? Why we depend on other country about that? Here Abdul Kalam is raising this type of question. Can India design an operating system that will become a household name in the world of computers? Why cannot India operate in this system? The design of the system which will become a household design and operating computer. Yes, world of computers. Why not we use that computer in our household name, the world of computers? Our experts consist to a large extent of low value raw material. Yes, our experts. Our country is exporting the raw material to very low price. We are exporting raw material to other country very low price, but instead of that, such an iron ore and aluminium. Yes, we are exporting iron and aluminium ore to other country. Can we not convert these into wide range of products that find an international market? Why not we convert them ore to iron and aluminium in our country? Why we are exporting the ore to other country? Why we are not producing the metals? Those who are getting good prices in the international market. We have hundreds of defense production. Yes, we have hundreds of different production industries. Now we have 100 different types of production industries. But why does not India manufacture? But still, why India is not manufacturing, market and make battle tanks and missiles and aircraft guns and other defense equipment? Yes, the things which we need to protect us, and we need to protect us in the war field. Those things we are not manufactured in our country. Why we are depending on the other country? Why we are purchasing the missiles and rockets to us from other countries? Why we not producing? Why we are not manufacture those things? Here Abdul Kalam is awakening our youth. We have the most important core competency in the form of our multifaceted manpower, but our country has multifaceted manpower. Yes, India has human source is a great source. That is, India's human power is great wealth in our country. Human power is great power. So that type of power we have, and basic infrastructure. Our country also has the basic infrastructure, but why? What is that we don't have? Yes, what is we don't have? We have everything, but even that also we can't do anything because of our laziness. We must do some work. We must have imagination power. We must have visions in our life. We must have some goals to reach our goals. So we must have all the facilities in our country, but we must have the visions and aims in our life to do something for our country and bring up our country in the best order or high order in the world. Okay, children? Learners, what are your responses to Abdul Kalam's question? What is it that we don't have? So here Abdul Kalam are asking that what we don't have in our country. We have engineering facilities. But why we are not going in the high order in the world? Higher order in the world. So, in the next page we will continue this lesson.